Thank y'all so much. Yep, 2024, it's a new year. Lots of projects in Morganton, and I'm going to cover a lot of different areas. First off, I wanted to talk about all the artwork, sculptures, statues that are going up in town, because it really does make a difference in when people drive through and say, man, I didn't know this was there. So I've taken a few pictures. We're going to go through them. You may know where they are, and some of them you probably don't know where they are. This is a statue called Equity 3 by Nathan Pierce on North Green Street. We have one of Rising Spirits. This is across from Burke United Christian Ministries. We have Pure Me, which is the one right above the post office. And I would like to inform everybody that the sinkhole at the post office is done. So we don't have to have any questions about the sinkhole today, George, okay? We have a lot of artwork on murals on the wall. Here's the one at Food Matters, celebrating Guatemala and their journey into our county and town. The Burke Arts Council has a great one that is really, you have to look at it real close to see the hands, see all the people in it. It's just a great venue as you come in on North Green Street. We have the Asian American celebration that's on the side of the theater that was done through a workshop through TOSS, which is the old school studio, with a collaboration of a lot of people. Some of which were children who got together in artwork. We're going to have another session like that to do 3 more murals in town. This is the Essential Worker Celebration on Hopewell Road that Industrial Commons has, which features police, fire, teachers, nurses, and daycares. So that's another one that was done last year. And then we have one on Oak Hill Ironworks, which is not really my style, but it's artwork that's in town. The SWED did this, an artist called the SWED, and I'll be honest, it's tough for me to follow, but it is artwork, and people have commented about it. Waits. We've got some what I call alley art, which is beside Gregory Jewelers. Those are supposed to be diamonds painted on the wall, and as you come through the alley, it'll be on your left. Here's some more alley art. This one is behind Gregory Jewelers. And again, it's got lots of color to it, so it's a different form of art, but it is visible to the public. We have some buildings with angel wings on them. Some of you who aren't angels should not stand in front of that. And no, we do not. Somebody's already asked if we have any devil horns somewhere. We have not done devil horns, but this is interesting artwork in an alley behind the Chamber of Commerce, in the alley that's behind the Chamber of Commerce. A pig and other things, that's all I can say. Wait, it's a pig and other things. Vertical wall art, this is in behind Homer's, and again, it's artwork that's available to the public, and you never know what you're going to see as you come through. We've actually taken some of the transformers in town. This is at the behind the stage on the square, and decided instead of an old gray box, we would put artwork on the boxes. So that's really a different approach. We have corner artwork, which is near the Toasted and Rolled alley there. So we do have a lot of artwork in town. Okay, we'll get to the serious stuff now. This is money and the city. A lot of people worry about how much money we have in the budget and what we call unassigned fund balance. And this is a graphic that I think is really shows how tight Morganton judges our budget. In 2019, 60% fund balance as a percentage of our general fund expenditures. And of course, in 2023, it's up to 105. So what that tells me, general fund, if we collect no more money, we've got enough to get through, because we've got over 100% of our unassigned fund balance as opposed to our general fund expenditure. So it's really a monument to our finance company and leadership, staff leadership at the city, to make sure that we have money in the bank in case the economy does take a downfall. People say, what's in the general fund balance and where does the money come from? And as you can see, The ad valorem taxes is the blue, the big blue there, and the orange colored is 34% of our general fund balance. And those are taxes and license, such as the tax you pay on your utility bill, water bill, electric bill, cable bill. All those taxes and licenses go into that fund. So 34% from licenses and other taxes, and ad valorem taxes is 42%. So that's where the bulk of the money comes. We have some intergovernmental revenue, which would be grants and stuff, sales and services, and some restricted revenues where we get a grant, we only can spend them on certain things. So the general fund expenditure, as you can see, public safety is 39% of our budget, which is a lot. It does take police and fire a lot of money, especially when you have to buy a new fire truck or a ladder truck. That's not cheap. Patrol cars are very hard to get. We could not finance them this coming year. We had to just pay cash for them so that we could get them before the other ones were worn out. But you can see public safety is our biggest. General government, cultural and recreation is 21%. So it's broken down percentage-wise so that you know where your general fund money is going. Here's the fund balance. Fund balance, as you can see, unrestricted fund balance and the total fund balance. So we do have to keep some restricted because we have projects that are ongoing. So you can see the fund balance stands at about 32 million, it looks like to me, there, and our 10 million is restricted. So that's the balance we've got to I hate to use the word play with, but gives us that margin if something does come up. If we have an electric station go out or something, we've got that fund balance that we can use. This is really an interesting slide because it applies to the 2040 image program we're doing to plan for 2040. As you can see here, it says we've had, and this is what goes on in Morganton. Each year, 7,300 garbage picks up. We've got 370 acres of parks, 8 fire trucks, 59 patrol cars, 330 miles of water lines, 200 miles of sewer lines, 10,500 water connections, 6,900 sewer collections, 12 water tanks, 14 pump stations, 24 miles of underground electric, and 17 overhead electric, and 17 miles of underground electric. So that's what we service in town. And our 2040 program is to try and figure out what assets we need and what our strengths are going to be. People talk about new housing. We have a new housing project going up on Fletcher Street. Fletcher Street is across from the Honda place on Highway 64. They're going to put the curb and guttering in, 27 units planned, and those should be finished hopefully in 2024. And if you focus too hard on problems, the solution may evade you. He's still waiting for the door to open, not realizing the top's off. So sometimes that's sort of the way you feel when you focus too hard on problems. So what is one of our problems in Morganton? Highway funding. And people say, how does the funding occur? And what happens, the Metro Technical Coordinating Committee gets together and decides to bring their report to the Metro Transportation Advisory Committee, who takes their report to the Greater Hickory Metro Planning Organization, which takes their committee to North Carolina Department of Transportation, who funds their report to the Federal Highway Administration. So it is a strange way to fund highways, but that's the way it works. So the MTC reports to the MTAC, who reports to the GHMPO, who reports to the NCDOT, who reports to the FHWA. And I've asked Mayor Pro Tem Wendy Cato to serve on that committee, so she is not thankful to me. It takes, because our Greater Hickory area is 4 counties, and Taylorsville is looking for money, Morganton's looking for money, Lenore, Hickory, we're all in the pot together of who gets the next set of, the big chunk of road money. And the bad part, North Carolina DOT several years ago over budgeted, not as much money was coming in, and they've made promises, and some of those projects have to be put on hold, like exit 100 on Interstate 40 was supposed to be finished this year. It's not going to be finished this year. The other problem you have with highway funding is electric vehicles. A lot of that funding comes from gas taxes, and when people are buying less gas, then you're going to have less funding for roads. So it really is a dilemma, especially for the North Carolina Department of Transportation. We get a lot of our money from the Powell bill money to fix roads. This year, or last year, we spent $800,000, I believe, of our Powell bill money. That was taken this year, about 3 weeks ago. And you can see it's Bethel Park Lake at this point, Waits. There's the sign. We think it's about 4.5 feet deep right there. So it's really a project that we are beginning to work on. The park will be closed. Well, it's closed now, but it's going to be officially closed in February. February 5th it will close. And this is our update. We got grants for stream restoration. And for clean water, you can see the figure $900,000. From the Golden Leaf Foundation, $250,000. Department of Environmental Quality Resource Grant, $200,000. Environmental Enhancement Grant, $150,000. And total for our stream restoration is $1.5 million. Those are the grants we've got for stream restoration. Parks and Recreation Trust Fund, which is the RDIF, gave us $500,000. That's going to be for the actual equipment that goes in the park. Bethel Park will have a half-a-mile, 12-foot wide walking trail, 4 groups of workout exercise station, some stage structures, a soccer court with fencing, a half-acre fenced dog lot, and playground equipment. So that's what will happen. Probably take about a year to finish all that. And the biggest problem is the stream restoration, because there's 2 streams that come in, and right now the creek banks are sort of like this. We're going to try, to step it up, widen, and make it wider so it doesn't fill up the whole creek. It fills up in stages. So that's the current plan. And here's our Imagine 2040. So far, we've had 700 plus touch points, 17,000 data points, written comments over almost 2,500 hours, 800 hours, 7,000 visits to the website, and 2,000 unique users. So we are trying to plan where housing needs to go, what needs to happen. It's still available, and please visit the website and give your input. There's going to be one more, at least, public meeting to get input from the public, and we want people to give us their viewpoint on what needs to happen by the year 2040. And the trouble with trouble is it starts out as fun, and it really, sometimes, these are the future projects, which start out as fun, but may end up being trouble. Boss Road Sewer Project, we have a situation where we could have some more housing on Boss Road, but they definitely need a sewer to bring housing into Boss Road. North Streetscape Project is a lot of the utilities are going to be put underground there on North Green Street. And the Silver Creek Lift Station, which is going to be a big expense that'll come out of our budget. And then a beautiful place to live. I want to switch gears and talk about, people have talked about our Greenway, what's going on in the Greenway. We still are planning to bring the Greenway, our Greenway, for the Fontaflora Trail and take it to Asheville. A lot of people in McDowell County are working to finish that section. But this is the Greenway as it now is as proposed. Let me move over here and see if I can talk loud enough. This is the Rocky Ford extension. So Grace Ridge is right here to get your bearings. So Grace Ridge. You'll come down, we'll have a trail connecting hopefully to Grace Ridge. This will be a maintenance road that we'll bring it into. This section right here is, we're going to have to bring above grade because it is below grade right here. This is Riverview Apartments, if you know where Riverview Apartments are. We will come down here and we'll have an elevated bridge there. Up here we're going to try to put a bin and put a possible deck, observation deck right there. We'll come down. The wastewater treatment plant is down here. Right here is going to be the section for the Emergency Services Training Center. That's in connection with the county, the city. Western Piedmont Community College is going to build the work with us, and they're going to hopefully offer whitewater rescue. Right now you have to go to Lake James, and hopefully the wheels are on, they can practice up there. But they hope to put a whitewater rescue center along with the police and fire training down there. We'll come along here. Again, the wastewater treatment plant, Vulcan Materials over here, and this is real steep. You see a switchback back and forth here and here. That's because it's real steep, but we're going to try our best to keep it as close to the river as we can. So that's the update on the Greenway system, at least on that end.
What's the timing?
The timing is, we have no idea. We hope to get some part of that Parks and Recreation Trail Fund, and Beth Holly, who is real involved in the trails in Valdez, bringing it this way, is on that. And a young man from Hickory is on there, and he's been approached about lobbying to make sure we can get some of the PARTIF money to help that up.